What is this girl doing? They really like her school. Don't tell me about the weather, don't tell me about the food, don't tell me about the dorm. So there's actually 14 people in the world who are actually looking forward to this essay. Hi guys, this is Chaplin. So if you don't know me, I just got into UD2 for the University of Chicago. Today I want to share with you guys the Y School essay. So before actually showing you guys with my Y School essay, I want to show you guys a few tips I have for the Y School essay. So the first tip I have is actually do a bunch of research. I think this might sound a little bit cliche to you guys, but that's very much true. And I mean, don't tell me about the weather, don't tell me about the food, don't tell me about the dorm. Those are really like superficial things that college admissions do not really care about. What they care about is actually like school multiplies you. What you will be when you're actually at this college, and what you will achieve for this college, and what resources you will use for this college. So I strongly suggest you guys to look into like the professors, the academic research resources, or the career resources that you are really interested about and will be using in the future. Not think about just writing things that are like impressive, but actually things that you really care about and will be using when you're at this college. And the second tip I have is to talk about your dream and ambition. Maybe there's a specific topic that especially interests you, and you want to go deeper on that topic when you're actually studying in this college. And this will actually show the schools that you know what kind of person you are. Because take economists for an example, there are so many branches of economics that people can learn about. You can learn about welfare economics, you can learn about crime economics, you can learn about behavior economics as me. And you know, giving the school a specific type of topic that you're interested in really tells the school that what kind of specific person you are. And third tips I have is to tell stories. Don't only tell the admission officers about like point A, point B, why I really like the school. Those are really important, but they aren't really convincing and interesting to the admission officers. Think about it. Every day they'll need to read thousands of applications, thousands of Y schools. You know, what specific reason is there for them to remember you? Of course, tell a story. Everyone's stories are different and specific. If you can show a really vivid or moving story to the admission officers, you win in this Y School essay. And fourth tips I have is that, if possible, show that you care so much. What do I mean by show that you care so much? I think that it's something beyond just browsing the website itself. Actually connect with professors or resources that I'm interested in with a lot of things from the past few years. Professor Richard Taylor and the Center for Decision at the University of Chicago, I have been actually keeping up with those things for a long time because I'm really interested about behavior economics. The Professor Dana really at Duke University is also one of the behavior economics that I'm really interested about, and read a lot of his books. So when I'm actually writing those Y Schools essay, I show that I'm not interested in that school because I did the research recently, but I have been like looking forward to learn and explore the field with those professors or at those institutes for a long time, and I have been keeping up with that. If you can show that your commitment to those fields, just like even before your college application, that's dope, and it will really convince the admission officers that you are really someone who's interested in this field and who is really interested in studying this field at this specific college. So here's my University of Chicago Y School essay. This was actually pretty long. I think they're looking forward to the standardized font size, but they did not know that I actually know so many words that like I don't even know what to call this. Maybe this is just messy. And they were like, what is this girl doing? They really like her school. I just realized that was the PA essay, and I actually did not write so much for writing your Chicago essay. Okay, I'm gonna read it. I still remember the afternoon when I lay in bed and finished reading Eugene Fama's efficient market hypothesis. I immediately imagined myself standing in front of him, opposing his ideas with my thoughts on human psychology and the market, like I usually do with my economics teacher, Mr. Su. The market is not always saturated with information necessary to make an effective decision, and his asymmetric information usually puts people in different game theories. People have to anticipate each other's next move to take action, never solely based on traditional supply and demand. In my imagination, I told Mr. Fama that price does not always equal value because humans can be irrational and swayed by random conditions in the market. Later, I dreamed about how we would discuss this hypothesis for days upon days using the stock prices in the market. I saw myself challenging the publications of UChicago, likely overturning Keynesian thinking proposed by Milton Friedman, and a broadened scope of economics brought by Gary Becker. As as you can see, I started this essay with a very specific and vivid and unique story. It is actually a very random moment that I had, but it was really interesting, and it actually shows my like critical thinking and how I actively engage with the economics knowledge around me when I was in high school. And so I think that this is a really good example. Years ago, my father's failure in the stock market ushered me into the art of investment. I easily became fascinated by the irrationality of human decisions that I often encountered through learning and trading. From my perspective, nothing came without reason. And as a scholar, I love stepping back and analyzing the reasons behind the seemingly intuition-based behavior, reaction to anchors, behavior bounded by social norms, or the placebo effect in daily decisions. Why do we possess these seemingly wrong intuitions? Why are we bound to such a perception? And more specifically, why does it matter that we know all these things? Richard Taylor's nudge theory particularly interests me because it guides me to the mission of being a behavior economist, to study our own irrationality in order to nudge the world to make better decisions. So here, I use another specific example that was quite unique, my actual experience of investing, and I showed them about like how much I know about behavior economics. I had a ton of questions that I'm really interested in, and I also mentioned Richard Taylor. This actually shows the mission officers that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm a scholar who's willing to, explore really deep into the things that I'm interested in. And so I went to join UChicago's Center for Decision Research. Through analyzing the human irrational decision-making process and working with some of the most advanced economists, I actually joined one of Professor Fishbach's free lecture a few weeks ago. I think that was so interesting. I will put the link down below, so if anyone's interested in, please participate. It's free and it's so helpful and interesting. They will periodically give lectures for free on really interesting topics. Okay, I want to explore questions that have been conquering my mind. When are biases necessary? Under what situation will nudges become invalid? Beyond research, I've always been stunned by the real-world designs created by behavioral scientists in organizations like Irrational Lab. Therefore, I want to further leverage my fruitful research through UChicago's Polsky Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. The incubators and co-working spaces that UChicago provides, I can integrate my passion of art and technology and apply my knowledge in the real world to help impact more people. Whether it's creating art design to nudge people to better outcomes, or to identify real-world biases in data from the internet, I want to build my disruptive innovations and change the world. Okay. So at this point, I'm further kind of like distinguishing myself. First, I distinguish myself from economist to behavior economist, and then I distinguish myself from behavior economist to more of like a practical behavior economist who are willing to use things outside economists like art or technology to kind of impact the world. And then, beyond research and entrepreneurship, the behavioral science workshops would allow me to hear ideas from some of the best economists and policymakers. I will learn economics through an interdisciplinary lens, from pro-social decisions with bias to health and welfare development. And I look forward to broadening my horizons through those workshops and discovering more of the possibilities in the field of economics. And all of this is what makes UChicago the best place for me. Along with all the abundant resources and crazily interesting scholars, I can explore behavioral economics, the best interdisciplinary field. So yes, and actually for the last two paragraphs, I think this is a little bit too general, but I actually still cite some specific things at UChicago that makes the admission officers know that I did my research. Yeah, so this is my Y School essay, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment down below or contact me. And if you guys don't know, if I hit my first 20 subscribers, I'll be doing my 90-second bubble tea challenge. And so I hope you guys can like and subscribe this video, and I hope to see you the next time.